There we go. There we go. Now we are live. All right.
Yeah. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? Good morning. Good morning. Wipe
Good
that coal out your
morning.
eye.
Get the coal out your eye. See who just texted me and why. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so good morning, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one chief rocker and Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. I'm joined by Greeny from LI. Welcome to New School Knicks. Welcome to New School Knicks. We rocking. We rocking. King and G, the People's Champ, will be joining us shortly. Mr. Rivera is out on assignment. He couldn't help it. You know, it's one of them things. It's life, right? So we're gonna rock and roll for a few minutes. Let me dap up the chat. James Lee, what's good? King Poppy, what's good? Danny Lee is in the building. Hey, Asher's off the chain. What's good? I see y'all out there, man. Eddie F, what's good? JJ is in the building. What's good? JJ, what's good? I see you, man. Salute, salute, salute. Bodega Wi-Fi's in the building. What's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah, man. So this is New School Knicks. It's your main man, Uncle Freezy. King and G will be with us shortly, like I mentioned. Mr. Greeny, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm just trying to get my little handheld help to help me ready and all that. I'm doing well though. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm doing very well. My son be there in a couple of days. Just got in the gym, shooting around the ball again after my surgery. I just had surgery in April, if you guys didn't know. I'm feeling real good, chat. Been in the gym ever since I
We
just
haven't.
finished physical therapy, dropped 10 pounds. I'm back, baby. I feel good. So if
We
you
back.
guys don't see me, just know I'm putting in that work behind the scenes. Yes, I am putting in that work.
Yeah, man. And how often? This is funny. How often do you see 2'6'5" individuals in the same spot? It's crazy.
Not too often.
The 6'5" was in the building.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? 6'5" was in the building. So flat footed with no help. I'm like 6'5" and like 1/8 something something. You know how the
Yep.
thing be
So
all
you
weird.
got you got me by like might be like 2 inches and a quarter or something like that because I'm like 6'4" and 888 something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
you mean. I'm like it's weird and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah,
basically, you like
man.
you said, you put your shoes on. You 6'6", I'm 6'5" with my shoes on. So we ain't walking around
Yeah,
outside without our shoes. So you might as well just count it 6'5". So
6'5". Yeah, 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 yeah. I barely made it, so it doesn't. It's fine. But
I'm
but
barely
yeah, but
making it.
but once we put shoes on, we look the same height, so it don't
Mm-hmm.
even matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. 265 is in the building, so yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Shout
And
out to
and
all
I'm
my tall people in the chat, bro. 6'3" and up. You feel me? I
yeah,
respect you. You 6'3". You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Much respect. Much respect. Yeah, man. Much respect. We walk in the building, they don't know who the basketball team is. We walk in the building, they don't know who the team is and who not. Right? Yeah,
Mhm.
man. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So that
definitely.
was the people's champ just hit me up. He said he need
Okay,
like 10 minutes.
okay,
So
okay.
yeah, man.
You
So
know,
he'll be here. So he'll be here in like 10 minutes. But shout out to all our people, our early morning people. Ricardo Torres, I see you. I see y'all, man. Frank Montos was good.
oh,
Quiet Money is in the building. So here's the thing. Hey, Greeny, a lot of pods and a lot of streams kind of talk about the same stuff. I kind of want to talk about the same stuff as them too, right? But I wanna touch on this.
okay.
What if Leon Rose decides to walk away from the Donovan Mitchell deal? What if Leon Rose legit decides to walk away from the Donovan Mitchell deal? And he won't, by the way, because you don't do this for a year and some change and then all of a sudden get exasperated or frustrated or exhausted and then walk away. Mr. Vince is in the building. What's good? CAA Mafia, right? But
Hmm.
what if what if what if Leon Rose decides to walk away from a Donovan Mitchell trade? What would be the next course of action? Would that be a smart decision on Leon Rose's part, right? Would it be because the alternatives are it's not just option A and option B. The possibilities, in my opinion, would be endless, right? And the reason why I'm asking you this question, and maybe it's something for us to talk about this morning,
Okay.
is there an alternative player? Is there a backup plan, a backup player in case Donovan Mitchell is the prize outside of our reach?
Okay.
Would you consider trading some of these young pieces for another young star?
I mean, that's never off the table for me. I would have to agree with you with the fact that I don't know if the Knicks have a backup plan. I don't know what their back. I hope they have a backup plan. We've seen the Knicks for so many years not have backup plans when it comes to the draft. So I hope they have a backup plan. They need to have a backup plan because in my eyes, I I think I think it's time for the Knicks to make a move. Yes, and nobody in the Knicks fan base wants the Knicks to be patient anymore. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to wait, and everybody wants them to go out and get Donovan now. I'm for it too. But at the same time, I've said this before, and I'm on. You can go back and look at videos. I've said this before. The Knicks are in a win-win situation. Whether they move to go get Donovan now or hold on to whatever they want to hold on to, the Knicks are in a win-win. And the only reason why a lot of fans will probably be upset because we don't get Donovan is because it's not moving our needle as fast as they want the needle to be moved. So that's just my real take on it. I Like I said, the Knicks are in a win-win situation for me because if you don't get Donovan, you still have the draft picks, and if our players develop the way that we want them to develop, then we're definitely going to have assets now. You know what I'm saying? So that's how, like, people, the other teams don't value our players how we value our players.
Right.
Everybody's been saying that. So if our players can develop during the season and get a little better, and we don't have that trade for Donovan, and now we have the pick still, and the players have developed even better. You know what I mean? How are you in a lose-lose situation?
I don't know.
You get Donovan over here, you trade the pieces away. Then what happens if they don't turn out to be what you want them to be, and now you have your star over here, and now you can move on to your next move. You know what I mean? And the needle is moved. But then if you wait, you develop some of your players, the needle might not move, but you might have moved the needle without even noticing because now your players are good enough for you to bring another star in, like you said, to maybe it might not be Donovan, but you could put your players together to go get another star. That other star, like you
Okay.
said, I don't know who it is because the Knicks never have a backup plan.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And that's
Hey,
really just
so
my take on it.
right. What? No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. So Paris Douglas says we already got a backup plan. It's Brunson badass. Okay. Okay. And I felt like the backup plan could be multiple things. I think ultimately the best backup plan is if you don't get Donovan Mitchell, or not. I won't say. Let me say
Mm-hmm.
this. I'm not going to say the best backup plan. Let me say another option to that because I don't want to sound opinionated. I think I kind of watch the way I phrase it. So I think another option would be play the kids. Play the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the option is um, remove all the obstacles in the way of these kids and let them play, right? And then at the draft next summer, go get more kids, right? And sure, it's gonna look like a kindergarten field trip for a while, right? But I think you have to consider all the options that are on the table. Now, how do you explain that to the fan base that's already Greeny, you know how the missus will be like, yo, oh, let me do this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the people champ,
Yo.
King and G.
Yo, what's
What's,
up, fellas? What's up, fellas? Top of the morning.
what's good, champ?
What's up? What's up? I'm out hustling, bustling, switching and dishing. You
The
know.
chimney has been smoking.
Yeah, he out here posting and toasting.
Styling and
Yeah, man.
profiling. You know.
Styling and profiling. Yeah, man. Just real quick. So, champ, what I mentioned to the chat, to those listening, and to Greeny, I offered this. What happens if Leon Rose decides to walk away from a Donovan Mitchell trade? What are the options available to Knicks fans, right? If this happens, and so what I suggested to Mr. Greeny is that I think the Knicks have to explore all the options that are available to them, including recalibrating the star chase, right? And also, what I would say is what I also offered is playing the kids,
Right.
remove all the obstacles. I say if you don't get Donovan Mitchell, if you can't get him, I say you got to move Rose, you got to move Fournier, right? You got to move them guys and let these kids play. You got to move Randall. You know what I'm saying? And let these kids,
Right.
even though I like Randall, I don't want to get it to seem like it's twisted. I'm just saying, as in this option, I think you got to move all the high salary, mandatory minutes guys,
Yeah.
and let these kids play. Right now, if you do that, of course, you're going to have pushback from Tom Thibodeau. So
Right.
that means you may have to remove Tom Thibodeau too, right? And just go with the young coaches, the Grizz, Daichi Yoshimoto, Johnny Bryant. Run out the young coaching staff, run out the young players, let everybody take their lumps and see what you have at the end of the season. Go into the season next year, draft the Thompson twins, and keep it pushing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind that scenario. I wouldn't be mad at it. Um. I I think a hybrid version of that scenario would be you might be able to pay a whole lot less to bring in an SGA, right, and still do those things, right? I don't think OKC would want players taking minutes from the young guys they have in exchange
Right,
for SGA. I think they may settle for just picks and like a guy or
right.
uh, um uh, an expiring salary. So I, I think that would be like a hybrid version of that plan. But I'd be fine with not even going after SGA. I'd be fine with just running it out with what we have. Um, yeah, but
Can
I think like a SGA with that same plan you just laid out is probably the perfect scenario outside of a Donovan Mitchell. Um, and then you just pivot,
you
and
just
then
pivot?
yeah, and I think we have the flexibility to do that, which is why I think Leon has a lot of power right now because he has a couple of good options at his hands.
Right.
Um, I don't think he has a bad like he can screw it up, but he has a lot of good fail safes that he could go into. So right, I
And,
wouldn't be. I mean, I'll be disappointed. I'm not gonna lie to you. After all of this, I'll be like for a moment I'll be disappointed, but I'll get over it quickly. No pun intended. You know.
right, right. I was my only deal though is when you go that route, you have to take on ugly situations, right? And so, Greeny, this is the ugly situation that I think if you're gonna play the kids, right? If you're solely gonna play the kids, this is the scar that you get from surgery. This is the scar that you get from surgery. You give the Lakers Julius Randle, Derrick Rose, and Evan Fournier for Russell Westbrook, right?
See, like that
And
move doesn't bother me because I know we're doing that move to free up the money. So like I don't even that doesn't bother me. Like you know
right,
what I mean? Unless you're not coming over here to resurrect Russell Westbrook. Like don't do that.
nah, he ain't coming over here.
That's what I'm saying. You come here because you know that man's contract is coming off the books at the end of the season, and that gives you the option to play around in the offseason.
Right,
That's the reason. Yeah.
And you bringing him over to buy him out. As soon as he get here, you
See,
buy him out. Even if you buy him out dollar for dollar, even if you buy him out dollar for dollar, he's still on your salary, right? But he doesn't command minutes. He's not going to play in front of these kids. And you'd have a rough year, right? But you would have met the salary floor because you remember there's a salary cap and a salary floor, right? And so now you have no hindrances in the way of playing these kids all 48 minutes. Now, what that guarantees you is a whole bunch of young player mistakes, a whole bunch of bad losses.
But then you know what you have on your team. You don't have a whole bunch of question marks just sitting there. You know what I mean? It's just not like like I said, what happens if the players that we thought were gonna be so actually pan out to be something, and now it's to the point where it's like we don't know if they can get back to that form. So why not ship them out when we have why not ship them out while they're at their high? They can be high right now, and the next season don't ever get back to that point again. We got to ship them out at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
We
And
value our players
The
more than other
the exciting
organizations value our players.
get champ.
exciting part about that plan is like we have all of these first round draft picks next year. Like we could take a couple swings,
Right.
in this upcoming draft.
Right.
Like the same, we could take the same approach that Utah was taking for the next year's draft. We can get possibly another first round pick and try to get 4 first round picks in next year's draft. Like that's possible.
Right.
And
That's
then use
possible.
that capital to move up. And then now we're talking like once you have 4 first round picks, now we're talking you can get into that top 10, like maybe that top 8. And now the talent you're looking at is different, right? Because this draft is a lot of guys that could change your franchise, like prospectively. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a little slower, right? You gotta wait a little longer for the dinner to be done, but you know what I mean, like. It's
But
not
we
a bad
still
thing.
but we still cooking.
Right.
At this point,
Okay.
you might as well wait till the dinner done instead of putting it in the microwave. You might as well let it cook fully through. Instead of
Let
you
it
getting
cook.
a meal that's halfway cooked and we got 2 pieces of broccoli that's still frozen. You might as well just sit there and let it simmer, cook, marinate, get all the seasoning it can. Yeah, I agree with King Anthony. Yes, you might as well.
Right.
Like G saying, the Knicks don't have to go this Mitchell route. They can go other ways. There's other ways to go about this, and that's what I think a lot of Knicks fans are feeling like they need their urge. They gotta do this deal. That they have it's not like that. They can go other ways. It's just I don't know because the Knicks have always messed up their backup plan. So I personally don't know what they're gonna do.
Okay. No, I feel you. And so what I'm saying is to those that think just freeing up the money is the issue. Is the freeing up the money is not what I'm referring to. It's the freeing up of minutes. If you pack up, because think about it, you have Derrick Rose, you have Evan Fournier, and you have Julius Randle all wanting to get 20 plus minutes per game.
But I don't think that's happening this year. Like, I think the Knicks moved those players in the offseason to get time for their youth. You know what I mean? Like, they just cut Alec Burks. That's a lot of minutes. If you split down Alec Burks minutes and give it out to the guards, or however you want to do it, you take Kemba minutes, give it to Brunson, and then you split up those guards minutes that Burks was getting between IQ and D Rose or whoever else you want to have play guard. You know, you got some extra time. Then you got Noel gone. So now you're leaving more time for either iHeart to come in or Obi to come in or Sims to come. You know what I mean? You're leaving more time for other people. The only person I really still seeing being captain held back is Cam. Cam really doesn't have any. Where's he gonna get it from? Because Fournier's still there and RJ's there, and RJ needs to develop now. Like, this is the season that's a big season for him. So where is Cam gonna get, like, you know what I mean? What happens if Obi's playing great? Now Cam is cuffed because.
Okay. Right.
But I do think the Knicks did try to move some obstacles out the way, like you said, for the youth to come in and get the Knicks and bruises out.
Right. Right. I feel you. I feel you on that topic. Champ. My question is, excuse me. Champ, my question to you is, how much do you value the 4 picks the Knicks have in the 2023 in the first round in the 2023 draft? How much do you value the Dallas pick, the Detroit pick, the Washington pick, our pick? And do you think that those picks conveying the protected ones? Our pick, of course, is unprotected, but those picks conveying will those picks have value?
I was gonna ask you, how do those picks work? Like, do those teams have to be good for our picks to be good, or do they have to be bad for our picks to be good? Like, how does that affect our like, I guess
I just happen to have. Okay. Which pick do you want to talk about first?
I mean, let's just throw out Dallas, since Dallas was a team that kind of made it far last year. They got Christian Wood, so if Dallas does good next year, where does that leave our pick for next year?
All right. So, all right. Can you see the screen? You can see the screen,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Dallas 22, 23 for okay.
All right. So, Dallas's pick, if it lands in the top 10 in the next 3 years, we don't get it. But if it lands anywhere,
okay.
So if it lands anywhere between 11 and 30, we get it.
Okay.
So if it lands anywhere between number 11 and number 30, we get it.
Okay.
Right.
And that's a protected pick, or that's unprotected.
It's protected.
Okay.
See how it's protected is the teams say, hey man, listen, if we suck, we want to keep our first round pick. And so what they'll do is they'll say, man, if my team is so bad that we land in the top 10, I'm going to keep it. And that's what Dallas did. But Dallas looks like they're going to be a contender, right? So say Dallas makes the playoffs but gets bounced in the first round. We get their pick.
That's what I did. And now I understand. Now I see what Danny Ainge is trying to do.
Yeah. Danny Ainge don't want to go through all this stuff.
Protected stuff. Yeah, he don't want to go with He definitely don't want no protected picks from the Knicks, because the Knicks can be good and the Knicks can be bad. So he definitely don't want no protect.
And then plus, it's harder to move picks with protections, because say King Ant G trades the pick to you, but King Ant G say, listen, I'm cool with anything other than it being the number 1 pick in the draft. If it's the number 1 pick in the draft, if I can get Victor W, then you just have to wait a year. But pick 2 through 30, if it's 2 through 30, you can have it, right? But then I come to you and say, hey man, are you really interested in Brandon Ingram? You got to give me that pick. And then you say, well, it's already top 1 protected, right? So I can't move it because it's got King Ant G's protection on it. Now it's not an asset no more. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't move it, because if that pick lands number 1, the pick belongs to King Ant G. The king belongs to King Ant G as opposed to belonging to you. You know what I'm saying? Then now you telling me about 2024 and I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
That's
I think
the reason
the Knicks
why.
got to get this right, because they can't. Yeah, they can't. The Knicks can't afford to mess this up.
Yeah, and the Knicks unprotected picks are not just because people think the Knicks are gonna suck. It's just that they'll be easier to move without all these protections on them. Like Danny Ainge can move that Knicks pick in another trade if he chooses to go get another guy. Right?
That's exactly what Ainge do. That's what he wants. He wants the unprotected pick. So, like you said, he doesn't have the problem with the protections on it. He can just move the pick, not knowing that the team that I get
Ainge wants the perfect trade, and that's the issue.
And how many unprotected he got for Gobert?
4.
This dude is trying to literally get a whole new team.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't blame him though.
No,
I don't begrudge him, because if you were in that situation, you'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah, I don't blame him for trying. You know what I mean? I can't knock his hustle, but
yeah,
I mean that's a big ask. Like that's he would have acquired 8 first-round draft picks in the span of 2 months. That's unprecedented.
No, don't forget about the Royce O'Neal trade. It'd be 9.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yep.
9 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that should be within the rules.
But that's what I'm trying to say, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, how many first-round draft picks can you own? Can you just own all 30? Like, I don't know. Like, that's a third of the first round.
Yeah.
Like in number of picks, 4 first-round draft picks in 1 year. Like, where do they do that at, Freeze? I don't. He's not like, I don't even know if it benefits you to draft 4 players in 1 round.
Well, that's the reason why them teams like the Knicks and OKC and now the Utah Jazz are always moving back in the draft, right? Like this year, the Knicks could have picked that. In theory, the Knicks could have figured out a way to keep Jalen Duren and Ousmane Dieng. They could have figured out a way to do it, but at the same time, no GM, no smart GM rolls into training camp with 13 players 24 years or younger.
Yeah, no.
Right? And then all of them wanting to have playing time, but you paying them first round pick money.
And then all of their contracts come up at the same, come up at the same time.
At the same time, yep. And so the thing is about the rookie max extension rule, I think some people get it a little wrong. Like, you can have guys, you can pay guys the rookie max. The rookie extension. You can't have 2 guys on the rookie max extension. So you can pay people a little bit less and a little bit less and all that stuff, but you can't have, say, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony, all getting your max over on the same team, all going over the salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the device put in place by the owners so people won't build super teams.
And that's another reason why Danny Ainge wants R.J. Barrett, because he knows that, like how you just said, the Knicks can go over the cap to sign R.J. He's the rookie extension on the team. There's no other rookie that's getting extended on our team. He understands that. Like, I'm telling you, they know that the Knicks are on a win-win if they do the deal. That's why they're like, why do you think every time the deal is ready to be done and the Knicks put not all their eggs on a basket, but they might put a half a dozen on there for them, they always want something else? Why do you always want something else? If you wanted what you wanted, you would take it. You're trying to cuff me. Now you know what I mean? Now you're trying to don't try to do that to me. And it's sad. because like Alhan said, when that video you posted, it's like the Knicks have to pay the tax on because everybody knows if he comes there, the Knicks money is gonna go crazy. So now they want the
The
Knicks
New
to
York
pay the tax up front. They wanted to, you know what I mean? You're gonna get this star. You're gonna turn New York back into what it needs to be. So you got to pay this right now because I know he would. You know, like it's just
my only problem with the plan B is I don't know if Leon Rose is the guy for that. I don't know. I don't know if he's got that.
Now he has
Champ,
a
it's
point
too
there.
early in
He
the
has a
morning,
point there.
champ.
Now he has a point there because look, think about it. If he couldn't get the Donovan deal done, then what is it?
He was brought here to get a star, right? If we're gonna pivot and say, you know what, we couldn't get that guy, we're gonna like develop and build up our young guys. Like I don't know if I want Leon Rose for that job. Like if it's talking about getting a Donovan Mitchell or getting a star through relationships, you can sell me on Leon Rose being my my president. But if it's just developing talent, I think I could think of some better options. You know, to get that done because now we got to hit on our draft picks. Like if we're going this route, you can't miss. You can't go into the next draft and draft two guys and miss. You can't draft a Frank and a Kevin Knox if this is the route you're taking. You have to hit because now you're wasting RJ Barrett. You have to hit. So I don't know if I'm comfortable with Leon because Leon drafted Obi Toppin and then a year later extended Julius Randle. Like I don't stuff like that gives me cause for pause. You know, so like those mistakes can't happen again. Through the draft. And you can't always just trade back. That's not always the move because you don't want to make a pick that high. Like you have to be savvy enough and a good enough drafter to identify the right guy. And I don't know if I've seen Scott Perry do it. The only time we've identified the right guy was when it was like so obvious that it was the pick. Like RJ Barrett at 3 was the clear obvious pick. There was no way to really screw that up. You know, but other than that, I haven't. They're good at the late first round, second round picks, but they haven't convinced me that they know how to draft in that lottery.
Okay.
You know,
that's true.
All right. So you wanted to. So those were the Dallas picks that we looked at. Let's look at the
Dallas
other picks.
1 through 10, and that's literally putting us right back in the lottery. Okay, so let's see the other.
Yeah, that means if they fall, Dallas
right
is
back in the lottery.
I mean, but remember, we still have our pick though.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
That's
so
why
we have.
I want to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah. So we have our pick, and then we have Dallas's pick, but we also have others.
So we have only one Dallas pick, right? Only one Dallas unprotected first.
Yeah. We had. So we got two. Remember, we had the 2021 pick.
Year, though. It's not for the same year. Okay.
No, it was the 2021 pick that we used already.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
We wound up getting rid of it for Cam Reddish. When you think that first Dallas pick thing, Cam Reddish, right?
Okay.
And then we have this pick coming up this year. My bad, champ. But I just wanted to show you. So that was Dallas's pick, right? So let's look at Detroit's.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you might not even had that pick.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Now you see why Danny Ainge don't want it.
I wouldn't want it either.
Now you see why Danny Ainge wants unprotected picks, right?
It's not even valuable till 2027.
2025, really.
Maybe.
Really.
And that's lottery protected.
Or it may be at its most valuable in 2027.
But 2026 is cool too, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say 2026 is smooth. You just got to see how the draft is looking. That's how I'm basing the 2025 off of too. Like if that 2025 draft is looking like this draft, then I feel like that's smooth. But I don't know.
So let's explain. So let's explain it then. So basically, in order for us to get this first round pick from Detroit in the next 2 seasons, Detroit has to be at least a second round pick, a second round playoff team. That means they got to make the second round, and they have to finish. They have to finish with a top 12 record in the next 2 years. The likelihood of that happening, we all know is slim, but you never know because the Cleveland Cavaliers came from out of nowhere this year.
Yeah.
So and if Detroit don't do that, then oh my God, man,
then the pick doesn't convey.
Yeah.
Like you see it. So if it's one, basically Detroit has to finish with a record 19 through 30.
Right.
For us to get it.
It's not happening within the next couple of years.
Right. It don't. The likelihood of that happening is not high.
And I like their young talent. I just don't think it's gonna happen that fast.
Right.
Like,
and I think they may be able to sneak into the play-in, maybe even the 8th seed, right? But even with that said, that's still 16. That still makes them 16 or 17. So that makes them 16 or 17, and this pick is 18. So we miss out by a couple of spots.
I don't know if I'd ever accept a first round pick like this. Like, I think if I was a GM, the most protected you could have your pick is lottery protected. For me, like 1 through 18 is a bit extensive. Like that's heavily protected.
That's very, very heavily protected.
Like the chances of you
and Chad, look how many years is protected.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. Like the numbers for the years is
a couple years. The Knicks are actually better off if Danny Ainge hasn't won it. They're better off holding on to that pick for a few years because it gets more valuable
later
2 years from now.
Right,
it's true.
But right now, that pick is not moving the needle.
but it doesn't get valuable. It doesn't get valuable if the Knicks become a championship. I'm sorry, if the Pistons become a championship contender. True. Like say the Pistons are a top 4 team
because the second round virtually.
Well, then won't it be valuable since 2025 if they're like a top 5 team?
No. Hear me out, Greeny. Hear me out. Even this year, say by some weird twist of fate, and I know this won't happen, but just bear with me on it. Say this year Detroit goes to the NBA Finals. Well, we get their first round pick this year,
but it's so late.
Okay,
but it's
gonna be late. Yeah,
but it'll be pick 29.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? At 29, because if they make the finals, it's 29 at the least.
Yeah.
If they win the NBA Finals, it's pick 30. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's like this weird thing of you know, if the Pistons are really, really good right away, say if they say they make the Eastern Conference Finals, something like that, or however, say they win like 54 games or something just weird. Just say something OD just to play along with the strategizing to understand why Danny Ainge don't want it. Right, just to understand why Danny Ainge don't want this pick. Say the Pistons knock off everybody, and say the Pistons are the 2021 New York Knicks, where they just come from out of nowhere and make the playoffs and have a most improved guy, a random dude starts getting MVP votes like the Knicks did a couple seasons ago, right? Then the pick is not going to be as valuable because it's OD now. It's like, sure, we get the pick sooner, but dang, in the draft, we pick later.
Yeah, we ain't. Yeah. You rather get the picks later so you could pick sooner in the draft. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. You would hope the Pistons stay trash until 2027, and then you know what I'm saying, they get the 10 pick, and then you got a top 10 pick.
Right, but even then, you don't want them to be too trash. Because
you don't get it. Yeah, because you still don't get it. Yeah.
You want them to fall in that Goldilocks zone. You want them to be in no man's land.
Right.
See, this pick doesn't even do nothing for nothing. Like,
and that's why Danny Ainge don't want it.
Valuable first round pick. Like, you look at it like we can't use this pick in the next 3 years. Like,
this pick may not even end up being a first round pick. At the end of
Like,
the
yeah,
day,
exactly,
Yep.
exactly. Like
it
Yep.
may never convey into a
It may
first
this,
round
never come.
this pick right here is probably gonna be shipped off with like D Rose or Fournier to clear up some space.
Yeah.
That's how I'm
That's
looking at
why
this pick right
Detroit
now.
easily took the deal. Y'all didn't notice Detroit? Yeah, sure, we'll take that deal.
pick. Yeah,
We'll gamble on that
because it's still they pick.
because it's still a pick.
Exactly, exactly.
In theory, the good part of this pick belongs to Detroit.
Right.
The bad
Literally,
part of this pick could go to the Knicks. Because if the pick is bad, sure, Knicks, y'all can have it.
Right.
yeah.
Because
That's
if,
why,
if
This is
because if
yeah,
they're good enough, like they don't need it anyway.
right.
exactly.
You know.
Yeah,
I know.
so sure we got rid of Kemba. Sure we got rid of Burks and Noel. But did we really get valuable pieces back in exchange for that?
It sounded
Yeah,
good. It
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a good
Sounded good because
PR
it's a
move.
first.
yeah.
Good PR move. You got
That's why when people say, Chan, I'm sorry, man. I'm maybe I'm a little I like y'all energy on this show, bro. I like this new school Knicks thing. Yeah,
a
hey, y'all need a new y'all need another person?
We
ah.
always welcome.
Now
You always can come
oh,
over.
let me take that back because I ain't trying to say I'm trying to jump in Rivera's spot.
Nah,
Rivera just got some some stuff going on. But if
You
you
know,
sleep
you
on
could
a banana,
always rock with us. Number one chief rocker. You always could do that.
yeah, I'm just if Rivera slip on a banana peel, I do have an updated resume. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
we
So
accepted resume,
yeah,
resume.
let me show y'all the Washington pick. Let
Oh
me show y'all the
man,
Washington pick because that
I
is
heard. Yeah,
intriguing
yeah.
also.
Oh man, this we not set up for the next year draft at all.
Okay, that's a little bit
Not
better. It's a little bit better.
So
we're
so
not
the
set up for the
Washington pick,
draft at all.
yeah, so the Washington pick is intriguing because the Wizards are in that Goldilocks zone anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're in that Goldilocks zone anyway, right? And then they just added Porzingis
Right. In Monty Morris.
and
Yeah.
Monty
By the
Morris,
way, I
and
heard
they have Bradley Beal.
somebody told me that this is gonna be Porzingis' comeback year.
He bearded up. How you saw him with the beard?
Oh God,
The
But
beard.
I don't know what he was trying to. I don't know what he was trying to sell me on about Kristaps Porzingis having his comeback year at the Washington Wizards.
You sure it
But I
wasn't?
tried to tell, huh?
You sure it wasn't who's Mark?
Nah.
uh,
I know personally who it was. You feel me? I personally know who it was. But it was just like odd to me for them to say Kristaps was gonna perform at a level that he
it was
could
probably
be.
who's Mark Burner
Oh
account.
man, I was just man. I was
But
very
champ, you see the
disappointed.
protections on this, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Green, you see the protections on this one, right?
I'm watching. I like it.
They are in the Goldilocks zone anyway. What they picked 10th this year, right? Right in front of
hmm
us,
Yeah.
right?
hmm
And so this pick is lottery protected, right?
Right.
1 through 14. So
Yeah.
if you take into account a healthy Bradley Beal, a healthy Porzingis, a Monty Morris, this team may make the playoffs and be that first round pick traffic cone that gets run over. And
Right.
and it may benefit us.
Is
Like I don't
that's
think
what we need them to finish?
Yeah, 15 through 30.
I don't
Okay,
I
okay.
don't think it'll convey this season. But 2024 has a real good chance
Yeah.
of conveying because they're gonna fall and you never know the way the lottery works out. They may be the um like 11th worst team in the league and still drop to 14. So I don't think they'll drop out the lottery this year, but next year
Here,
that pick might convey.
yeah, let me see.
Right. Well, why not this year though?
Um I'm
Come on.
I'm still not that high on Washington. I don't think Porzingis is um durable enough, and I still don't think Bradley Beal is a winner.
Right.
He hasn't shown me he's won really on any level yet, so I'm not convinced that he's a leader. He's a great individual talent, but I don't know if he's a guy that leads your team to to victories. Even when they
Okay.
made the playoffs that year with Russ, I think Russ was more the driving factor
Okay.
than Bill was. So but they have that talent that's gonna make sure they're not terrible. They're not gonna be terrible.
Right.
Uh, they're gonna win some games they probably shouldn't win. They're gonna lose some games they probably shouldn't lose. You know that Knicks curse. But
They in that Goldilocks zone.
yeah,
Yeah, they in that Goldilocks zone. I understand. I understand what you're saying, but they are closer to that Goldilocks, that sweet spot than Dallas and Detroit. I mean, I'm sorry, than Detroit is.
yeah, but yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Because we it looks like the Dallas pick will convey.
yeah,
Right? And the Wizards are very close to conveying.
yeah. It'll convey eventually.
Yeah, but the Detroit is constantly picking at the top of the draft.
They could have
And
kept it.
yeah.
Like,
but Paris Duggan says getting rid of Kemba, Burks, and Noel was worth it all. And
Yeah.
I agree with him. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah, no,
Excuse
Definitely
me.
need that.
I agree with you. Getting rid of the hindrances, the governors, getting rid of those guys so these young kids can play was worth it.
nah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
It's
just
like taking the emergency brake off.
we just got to stop. Knicks fans got to realize that it's just not enough to entice Danny Ainge. That's not moving him.
Yeah, you see all
Like,
the protections on those picks?
yeah, he can't take that Detroit pick back to his shareholders and to the owner of that team. Like they're gonna
No,
say
he's
that.
right. You're right.
Like it may sound good in the headlines. Knicks trade 5 first-round draft picks, but
Right.
that Detroit pick is a second-round pick. If we're being honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The Wizards one is looking shaky too.
Yeah,
I'm not
Right,
gonna lie, that
and
Detroit
so
one is crazy.
that
and
Dallas
that's
one is real valuable though. I think that Dallas one is the valuable one.
right, and that's why Danny Ainge is saying, Leon Rose, you're not putting protections on these Knicks picks. All of them have to be free and clear. Don't tell me you'll give me 5 Knicks first round picks if all of them top 5 protected.
Right.
Nah.
The only ones I may protect is say we give him 4 first-round picks unprotected, right? Or 4 first-round picks. Then that last pick, the 2029, I may make top 5 protected.
You mean do pull the Timberwolves because the Timberwolves
Yeah,
did that.
yeah. Like okay, I'm not sure where we'll be 5 years from now. So 6 years from now. So like I'm gonna protect that last pick.
I agree
Right.
with you on that, King Ant.
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah.
my
That's what
only
T will say.
thing. I don't want the Knicks to give up too much, and then you in a cluster from because you don't have nothing now. Now you got to wait years for the draft to come. Like, yeah, that's my only thing. I don't. Yeah. So if you can protect yourself like that, yeah, that's the only. Yeah.
I didn't even know the T Wolves did that. By the way, when I said that, I was just thinking on top of my head.
Yeah.
Malik, Patrick, Jared, Leandro, Walker, Kessler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
This
They
is so in
2029 top
theory, the
5.
Timberwolves gave up 9 players for Rudy Gobert, right? And my belief is that the Donovan Mitchell trade is going to look just like this, right? Except a look except with a little more sauce,
And do you
right?
think that little more sauce could be that last pick being unprotected as well? Could that be the little extra drizzle we need?
Yeah.
It better not look like this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's going to be. I think the extra sauce is going to be. And I mentioned Phoenix last night. You remember what? Anybody remember? Was y'all around when we was talking about
That was a beautiful
Phoenix being
trade.
the third team in the trade?
That was your one shot moment, Free. That was a beautiful trade.
I appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? But it was just a thought, man. It was, and so I think what the Knicks ultimately do is something that looks a little like this, except the Knicks give up 3 unprotecteds, nothing else, right?
Mm-hmm.
They give up 1 young player and maybe 48 in Rose. And then but they send Julius Randle to Phoenix. and then Phoenix gives Utah a young player and some draft picks.
Do you think, because I was watching some highlights
Stop,
last week,
stop.
so do you think we could pry Jay Crowder away in that deal?
But what does Jay Crowder give you though?
Perimeter defense, toughness, versatility. Um,
Yeah.
like a guy that could probably guard the 2 through 4.
I think every championship team has a guy like that.
And if you look at the history, every team that Jay Crowder goes to, they improve.
Every
I
championship
don't know
team
what it
has a team
is,
like that.
but every time Jake, when he went to Boston, they
They
improved. When he went
improve.
to Miami, they went to the finals. When when he went to Phoenix, they had the best record in the NBA over the past 2 years. Like everywhere he goes,
Memphis,
yeah,
Dallas.
You
Yeah.
everywhere
think
he
about it,
goes,
anybody with that top caliber of play style is on a championship level team. Like, you got him and
You need
PJ
those.
Tucker.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
Royce
that,
O'Neal.
yeah,
KNG hit it right on the nose. The Knicks need somebody like that. You know what I
because
mean? They don't have that
that's
three
who
and
we
D guy.
want Cam Reddish to be. But
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly,
if he's that.
exactly. It's just that
Right.
Cam Reddish is not. He's not more that defensive. He's more the playmaking one. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's not like
Yeah, and
like
yeah, and
KNG said, we're looking for that from him.
right. And Cam is not going to be guarding small centers. But like Royce
No,
O'Neal at
no.
6'4", Draymond Green at 6'7", 6'6", whatever he is. Jay Crowder, PJ Tucker, they could switch on to small ball fives
Mm-hmm.
and legit play there for extended minutes.
Yeah.
Now you don't want a 6'4" center on the floor in Royce O'Neal, but at the same time,
Bless you.
if you have to live with that lineup in order to get more 3-point shooting on the floor, then it's not to your detriment.
Right.
My
I just
bad. My bad,
no,
Chris.
but I'm listen. Like I think now, I wouldn't want him starting at the 4 for us with our small backcourt. Not like I wouldn't want both like 2 6'1" guards and then like a 6'5", 6'6" power forward. I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
Right.
But him being like a super utility guy for us,
Right.
like I'm like we need something like that, and I think that would be an underrated like add-in that may fly under the radar. But I think that'll be like an underrated little pull by Leon if he could pull that off.
No cap. I think that's who Farron Hunt is going to be. No cap.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's going to be groomed to be that. Like big guy. If you want to get on the floor, you got to guard 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s,
Yeah.
and you got to stay healthy, and you got to knock down these corner threes. If you can't do that, we're gonna cut you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's what they might be grooming Farron Hunt for. And the reason why I bring up Farron Hunt's name in that case is you saw him do that in summer league,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like be an accent to everybody else. You notice he wasn't coming up taking shots over Grimes, but he was playing defense and getting the ball back to Grimes as quick as he could. You know what I'm saying? So
My only
Paris
thing
Tucker,
for
thank you
Hunt
for
is he got to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Paris. Sorry.
Paris Tucker, thank you for the gents contribution. Paris Tucker says our first unprotected picks are going to be 20th and up. Man, I hope so.
Hopefully.
That mean we in the playoffs, baby.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Go ahead, Granny, my bad.
Basically, what I was saying is, I literally just had a brain fart and forgot. What you guys talking about again?
I just had a real fart. I just had a real one, like a morning one. Y'all thought it was a delivery truck. No, it wasn't. Man, that delivery truck loud. But ain't no delivery truck.
Oh, you was talking about Farron. So my thing on Hunt is I like Hunt's defensive ability, like how he's saying. You put him in that role where he's not really that guy that's gonna be taking the shots. I just think he needs to work on his shot. Once he gets that shot down pack, and yeah, I like him, but I also am for the Knicks trying to pursue Colin Sexton if they still could do that. I
Uh,
think like I'm like that too, but at this point, Colin might be that 6 man that we need on our team. Like he's bringing the offensive game to the
But,
6. Like
my only thing with Colin is and
he's just too
Shot Smoke is gonna
selfish.
love me after I say this.
Too selfish.
I might make Shot Smoke's day when he sees me say this. But if you're gonna go get Colin Sexton, just play quickly.
Just play quickly. Yeah.
Just play quickly at that point.
But I know I'm getting a for sure 20 though. Like I know I might get 40 on some good. You know what I mean? When he's going, like I might get 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring a Colin Sexton in to play over quickly.
No.
I wouldn't say that. Maybe they could play side by side like that. Both comp like.
Yeah, but then
Colin
where's
Sexton
Jalen
is too
Brunson going
selfish.
on?
Yeah. Colin Sexton is too selfish. I mean, selfish. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't think Colin Sexton is going anywhere to come off the bench.
Right.
I don't think he wants to do that.
I understand that. I see that.
Right, like if I'm Collins, I mean they just signed Monty Morris, but I could see him a good fit in Washington or something like that. That would be intriguing. But yeah, I'm not. Yeah, like to me, it's really Donovan Mitchell or play what you have.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at with it.
No SGA. That's intriguing.
Oh yeah,
no SGA.
like SGA. See, I'm a little apprehensive with SGA only because
He's not a winner.
I like him as a lead guard. Off the ball, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, and that is true too.
So him and Jalen Brunson may fit well together. I wouldn't be mad if we did that, but I think we can wait for that, in my opinion. Like, unless you're getting a surefire winner, young perennial all-star, dude like Donovan Mitchell, then you don't break up what we have for just marginal improvement.
True.
And I think that's what some Knicks fans for on Donovan Mitchell. They think I think that's the gap between Knicks fans, right? Some Knicks fans value Donovan Mitchell more than other ones, right? And the ones that don't value him as high are holding the same stance I have with SGA or Sexton. They don't think he's worth what we're giving up. But I think Donovan Mitchell is worth that. But a SGA or a Sexton, Sexton definitely no. SGA depends on what we're giving up.
Well, we wouldn't have to give nothing up to sign Sexton. We can sign that man. You just don't. The money just probably not gonna look right for him.
Yeah, and I don't know. I Sexton is the type of guy that I think peaked early, like a Michael Carter Williams. Like I think his best days have happened already.
All right.
Yeah, I think his best days happened already. He'll be a good NBA player for a long time, but I don't see him like ascending to another level. Like I think like Sexton's best days are probably
here's one for you. And the more I talk to Denver Nuggets fans, the more I can't believe what the F I'm hearing. Denver Nuggets fans are not high on Jamal Murray at all.
Yeah, they're bugging.
Because they crazy.
Yeah, they're bugging.
I'll
take him in a heartbeat.
Who y'all want for Jamal Murray? Who y'all want?
No lie, Knicks fans, listen. Again, don't take my word for it. Go to Denver Nuggets spaces, whatever it is, YouTube, whatever, and listen to their conversations. Their conversations about Murray is kind of like how we talk about RJ Barrett.
Yeah, they're bugging. They're bugging.
Not Murray. Murray is a bucket.
He's a problem.
People talk about that game Donovan Mitchell had in the playoffs, but you know what happened on the other end of that?
It was against Murray. Murray was open.
And then Murray was snapping, and he won the game.
Yes.
Murray.
People forget that. They forget that.
Yes.
They forget that before he got injured, the Nuggets was on championship level trajectory. Like they're not even. They don't understand that Jokic transcended into a whole nother animal before. That team is scary, man. That team is so scary.
but the Nuggets have the Knicks syndrome in reverse, right? They have a glut at power forward, but really not productive there, right? Think about all the dudes they have at all the dudes over the years they had at power forward, right? But they don't have a standout guy there,
Right.
right? And then they have mostly combo guards, no real point guard, right? So much so that they was playing Austin Rivers and Campazzo at point during the playoffs. Think about that. Y'all playing Austin Rivers at point?
Question for you.
Alpha Payton was getting burned over him.
And I know we just got Jalen Brunson. So listen, I love Jalen Brunson, but this is just a hypothetical question for the future, right? Could you pair a Jamal Murray with a Donovan Mitchell?
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, I think that works.
Greedy said, yeah, I think that'll work.
Yeah, because you got to understand, Jamal Murray and Donovan are both players that can play off ball or with the ball in their hand. They both can come off of pick and rolls. They both can feed off of each other. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. And then, then you look at it, they're both not small. Jamal Murray and Donovan, that's not a small backcourt if you want to be in it. You know what I mean? In a sense. That they both can three ball. They're both making a whole bunch of mismatches on the court for a lot of people because them coming off the screen and roll with bigs guarding them. Come on, bro. That would be nice.
I think that's Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum on steroids.
Yes.
I think on steroids.
Yes. and to be honest with you, I think if you could acquire them too, and I know this is fantasy talk. This is fantasy talk, right? Right. This is fantasy talk, y'all. So we know I'm dreaming with my eyes open, right? But the thing is if you could get Murray and Spider and keep IQ and RJ, I think we were on a championship level trajectory. Because you get because we all know Jamal Murray is injury prone. Right. Let's not act like we don't know Jamal Murray is a walking bucket and a walking Band-Aid at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. Because he played through a lot of stuff. And I respect Jamal Murray for doing that. Sometimes you just gotta sit your rump down the hill, though.
Yeah,
Jamal Murray.
Right.
So yeah. But and that's one of the things that frustrates a lot of Denver Nuggets fans. Right. They get frustrated every time they need Murray. Murray is hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I can understand where that's frustrating. Right. But I honestly think they just don't know how good they have it.
They don't.
They have him, Michael Porter Jr., who's always hurt.
Yeah.
Right. They were tantalized by Bol Bol. Remember Bol Bol was killing Michael Porter Jr. in practices. You remember that? Now Bol Bol is there no more. Bol Bol is not an NBA player. Right. Then you have Jokic. Right. And EG 14,000 said himself that when they had all of that and they had Hartenstein was balling in practice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So what I would say is or what I would ask is, would you recalibrate your stargazing if you had a feeling you could go get Jamal Murray or SGA?
Yeah. She's like, I'm just gonna come.
Like, which one would you prefer?
I would prefer Jamal Murray.
No, get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah. Only because I feel like Jamal Murray, I like him better off ball than I like SGA off ball.
I might have to go SGA because best ability is availability, and
But
like
he
we
don't
don't
be
really
available
see.
either, Greeny.
But I mean, think about it. Think about their careers though. That dude Curry, Murray. You can't. I ain't gonna lie. You can't blame it on the severity of the injury. Like, you feel me? Because the timetables for certain injuries is longer. But that was a good question. Like right there, that's a good question because I would go with who's gonna impact the game more. Because that's tough. That is a tough call.
The only problem with the Murray, and again, we just shooting it right now, right? The only problem with Murray is because Denver has Jokic, I think they'd want a star level player in return, or I don't know if they're interested in our draft picks. You know, I don't think Denver wants to waste Jokic's prime. You
I
know,
mean,
so
they got Bones coming up, but I don't think they gonna give him the keys this early.
No,
yeah.
Definitely not giving him the keys.
but
He's in that quickly conversation.
oh boy, but
The
oh
Bones,
boy,
yeah,
What is
Bones.
Murray's contract? Because isn't he off a rookie extension as well?
let me pull up Spot Track real quick. I'll pull up Spot Track real quick.
Because I was
So,
asking, because if so, you couldn't even pair him and Donovan until their contracts are up.
hey, and you know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is the Nuggets could have had that themselves if they didn't trade Donovan Mitchell on draft night.
Yeah. That's the type of tandem that wins you 60 regular season games.
Yes, man.
That's because they're gonna score so many points. Like
right.
I don't know how you guard that. I'm like, who do you?
Donovan Mitchell in the altitude, bro. Oh my God. Donovan Mitchell in the altitude, Jokic and Jamal Murray. So Jamal Murray is going into his third year of a 5-year deal, in which he's making $31.65 million. It looks like a max. I can't tell.
How many total games he played for in them 3 years?
I don't know. I would have to.
I can get it. I can get it. Don't even worry.
I would. Okay.
So basically, say we swing the trade for Donovan, we wouldn't be able to pipe dream about that until another year or two.
Yeah.
When his contract will be expiring and maybe Denver's ready to move on.
Yeah.
But see, what we have to hope is the same thing that happened in Utah. We got to hope that Denver underachieves. And that they decide to blow it up and retool around Jokic with some different guys. But yeah. But listen, I would love a Jamal Murray, man. And he'd be a lot cheaper, I feel like, than what Danny Ainge is asking for.
Yeah.
I think we can get him for cheaper than that.
Yeah.
So,
It said Jamal Murray on his 5th season. Well, this will be his 6th season.
yeah, so he on a contract extension. Yeah, so you can't have him and Donovan on the same team yet.
Not Greeny, he going into his 7th season, bro. Remember, he didn't play this year because of ACL surgery.
20. You're right.
So he's going to his 7th season as a pro.
Well, I see some people saying like, well, we have Brunson. Listen, I like Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson is not Jamal Murray.
He's definitely not. I'm looking at his numbers right now, bro. He's not.
If we can just be honest for a minute, Jalen Brunson is not Jamal Murray. That's not a knock on Jalen Brunson, but he's not Jamal Murray.
It's a knock on Jalen Brunson, bro. It's a knock on Jalen Brunson. Yeah, let's be real about Jalen Brunson, man. Jalen Brunson, and I'm just stating facts here. Jalen Brunson is a 2nd-round pick that broke out in his free agency year. Right now, breakout being the key word, because in my belief, Dallas did him dirty by not giving him the opportunity to play. I felt like Jalen Brunson should have been at least in the starter mix as a rookie. You remember how high he was at the end of his rookie season? I was like, yeah, Jalen Brunson will probably get cut out of training camp. He didn't get cut, right? He you know what I'm saying? Then he was always producing, always contributing, always something, right?
Hold up now. You might have a point there, Uncle Freezy.
Yeah. Man, that's a big baby. How old is that baby? 4?
Yo, he be 2 in a couple days, man.
Jesus Christ. Yo. What's up, baby boy?
You said hey? You said hi?
I feel bad. Let me not even pull out. I feel bad.
You said hi? Look, you said hi? Look, you want to say hi?
All right. Yeah, man. Point guard of the future right there. Point guard of the future. But yeah, man. Yeah,
and
man,
yo, I'm like real like I'd be super fine with Jalen Brunson proving me wrong and him coming in next year and showing like shutting me up. And I expect him to do big things, but if he come in next year and show me that he's a better player than Jamal Murray, I'll, I'll be more than happy to admit that. I gotta see it
Right.
though. I gotta see it though.
I think Jalen Brunson is really good, bro.
I do too.
I think Jalen Brunson is really, really, really good. But I don't think he's a Jamal Murray.
No,
But at the same time, you don't know what Jamal Murray is after this torn ACL.
that's true as well.
You know what I'm saying? So I
Hold
just
on,
want to
hold
be
on.
I just want to be careful about it.
I just want to stir the pot just a little bit on that topic, right? Jamal Murray. When Jamal Murray got moved up to 31 minutes per game, he averaged 16, 3, and 3. When Jalen Brunson got that same amount of minutes, what do you think he was averaging? 16, 3, and 3.
Yeah, so I was thinking something like that.
It's tough because after that,
But
Jalen, that's when Murray takes his jump. And you can't really assess nothing with Brunson because this is Brunson's 4th year. So that's so it's tough.
so my point and so my question to you is, what happens when Emmanuel quickly gets those same amount of minutes?
See, I already know that projection is gonna make Quickly look like the 6-man candidate of the year. Like I already know that. Like you know what I mean? So
Man, if Quickly plays being like he won 6-man of the year this year. Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, facts.
I think Quickly's gonna make a jump whether he starts or not.
Right.
I think Knicks fans are gonna be really happy with, and if you trade him to Utah, I think we're gonna be sick.
So Greeny, I've been saying this all summer, and I don't think people feel me, but I think Quickly is our Chauncey Billups.
Okay.
And I get pushed back on it a lot. It's okay though, because I can come to grips. I can come to grips with being incorrect. I can.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But it's like that R. Kelly song. Yeah. Your mind's telling you no, but your body telling you yes. That's how I feel about Quickly. Like my mind's telling me no, but my heart is telling me yes about Quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's and my mind is telling me no, Quickly can't be that. He's super inefficient. But then my heart is telling me that you don't see guys. You don't. Yeah.
You're not looking at it for what it's what is. Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I like Quickly, but I still see his potential being like a Lou Will. Like he could be better than Lou Will. I'm not saying that that's his like top. Like he makes better than Lou Will. He plays defense better than Lou Will. I think he's a little bigger than Lou Will, right?
Yeah, he's way bigger than Lou Will.
That's what I'm saying. So I like IQ. I'm not gonna lie. I do like him coming off the bench. I think he could be the spark. Like I said, when you watch highlight tapes of Quickly, you feel the energy of MSG in the shots that he hit. Like you know what I mean? That's a lot. Every person can't do that. You know what I mean? And he's our top free throw shooter that we haven't had that in a long time, a 90+%. You know what I mean? So I honestly like IQ a lot. I think that he needs to be our combo scoring guard off the bench. If he can snatch the starting role, take it by all means. You know what I mean. You can do that. You can be a scoring, that's playmaking guard in this league at this time. The era is accepting that. So, I like it.
Yeah, let me do this real quick. Man, I was just getting comfortable in the host seat, and then y'all host showed up. God dog it.
My boys in the chat.
I was just getting comfortable up here, man.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Nah, I still gotta head out a little bit, but I just need to throw a flag on the play real quick. Kelly,
is that Whitney Houston? So you come in and say you believe in it? He about to say he believes in the children of the future.
Yeah, and that's a great segue because flag on the play for that R. Kelly. You can't be saying nothing about no R. Kelly.
Kendall just popped up like, listen, bro,
He said R. Kelly?
Y'all got my show going bad.
Flag. I gotta go. The flag on the play.
I'm getting me a red flag flag on the play.
Yeah, man.
Nah,
My bad. I'm old school, man. I mean, I can't help it, man. My bad.
5-yard penalty.
Nah, you good. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm listening in the background, y'all. Good show, y'all. Listening in the background. But,
You jumping on?
Nah, I got my.
You still got a few things going.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Yeah. My kids meeting their grandma, so I gotta how the family stuff.
Yeah. No doubt.
So if it's all good, I'm still rocking that. I'm gonna get back on.
Okay.
Cause I got a controversy take I'm gonna give too, so I'll get back on when y'all ready. So I don't know how long y'all got. Like, how long more y'all going?
I was just gonna do an hour, but we had an hour 15 right now. Maybe an hour 30, maybe 15 more minutes.
Shoot, then I ain't that. I'm not here that for 15 minutes then.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna do like an hour, because I didn't want to add too much old school Knicks to new school Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can though. Yeah, I can. Y'all ready to talk about Trent Tucker?
Nah.
Okay.
I was gonna say Rivera to start off the day. Uncle Freezy had threw this at me. He said, "Do you agree or do you like the direction of Leon Rose going with the, if he doesn't make the move with Donovan? Do you think the Knicks have a backup plan, or how do you think the Knicks are gonna go about the Leon Rose, Donovan Mitchell, or do you think they have another plan to chase another star?"
Honestly, I think that is one more pick. I think one more offer is going to be thrown before they call it a wrap. I think they got one more offer, and if you don't take that, then it's a wrap. Because I feel like Rose type of guy at some point he's gonna be like, "You wasting my time. Let me just go ahead and focus." Because training camp is around the corner, like in a couple of weeks, in 3 weeks. So let me get if I can't get it done. Because remember, Utah just said that they trying to get it by before training camp. So I'm gonna throw one more offer.
Sources say yeah.
Yeah, the sources say so. If I'm gonna throw one more offer, you don't take that, then I might as well just go ahead and go what I got. Because now it's time to focus on training camp. I'm not gonna go in there with the whole Donovan Mitchell debacle, and players don't know what their role gonna be or if they staying or going at some point during training camp. You know what I mean? You don't want to start something and then players is gone. So I think it's one more offer, and Leon Rose gonna be like, "Nah, y'all trying to G me. My body hit."
Leon needs to do what Freezy suggested 3 weeks ago. Leon needs to give a deadline and say, "Listen, Danny, you have until September 5th at 12 o'clock to accept my offer.
Word.
If you don't accept my offer, I'm going into my season. I'm going into the season with the guys I have."
Yep.
Word.
That's a fact. Or put all your eggs in a basket and say, "This is my last proposed trade. Like, this is it."
Word. I'll go to September 8th, because I'll be like, when the public school starts in New York, that's when when kids go back to school, that's when it's done, because I ain't doing it no more. It's annoying.
I can't pack lunches for third graders and do a deal. I mean, come on, Danny. What are we doing here?
And if to be being honest, the team is solid. We really being honest. Like, I know we like to try to, I don't want to say that the S word, but the S word on them. But the team is solid. I'm not even being a homer. It's a good team. It's not a great team, but it's a good team. So
good enough to go
I
into
wouldn't be mad.
Like
So
I'll
you
be
say, King?
To the playoffs?
Going to the season with, man. Got an open night coming up, and I'm gonna be there in the building, styling and profiling, and like this team is good enough for me to get excited about opening night. That's all I like. I'm good with that.
Right. Okay. So Rivera, how? Okay. So if Leon Rose walks away, you're saying play the kids.
Yeah,
right.
Just play with the team.
But the thing is, if Leon Rose walks away, you got players in front of the kids. Julius Randle gonna want to bring the rock up.
But the thing is,
going to take shots. Rose is still here.
No, I feel you, but I feel like just to because you still got to get the training camp started regardless. There's no ducking. You can't say, "Nah, we ain't going to training camp," because when you make the trade. The training camp just has to start. So I think that you play what you have, and then you go ahead at the trade deadline and try to go back to it if you can.
So you want to feature Randall?
I mean, if you can't get the deal done, because you don't have a choice. If you can't get the deal done, you don't really have a choice. The season gonna start October or whatever. The season gonna
Right.
start. You don't have a choice. So either play what you have or get the trade done. Somebody's gonna have to say yes. Who
Yeah,
wants it?
man.
Who wants it? Who wants it more?
We
And it's
don't get
looking like Danny
like
Ainge
on
is like,
five.
I don't really care either way.
Well, if we don't get Donovan, Tom Thibodeau is gonna get five. If
Yeah.
if
Yes.
And
we get Donovan Mitchell, he's not
yeah.
making it through the season. Tom Thibodeau not making.
And what's crazy is either way they'll sit Donovan, but he won't win them no games. They don't care.
Right.
They're gonna tank either way. They're gonna tank with they traded him to tank, and they will sit him to tank. So Danny Ainge don't care. He gonna get what he wants regardless. It's do we want Donovan Mitchell? If you want Donovan Mitchell, then go ahead and trade what you got to trade outside of RJ Barrett. But that's just blasphemy. That's
I
stupid.
tell
My
you,
thing is that
Bro,
every time we want to trade, they want something extra.
Yep.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what we think about. This gonna get what you want, but like I'm not convinced. Like I'm not impressed. I think more foolish than he is smart. I think for his bluff, and you hold certified. I think man, I'm not impressed with all he's doing is that to me trying to put pressure on you to do what he wants you to do. Like showing me super set. We take every step.
Hey, Champ, you breaking up? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Is Champ breaking up with y'all too?
Yeah.
Hey, Champ, you breaking up, man?
All right, let me turn my mic off and back on.
Okay. I was trying to decide, but to what you were saying, I can't do it
JJ.
any justice. Can you just repeat what you said?
Oh yeah.
You can hear me now?
Man, you
Yeah.
perfect now.
All right, bet. Now I was saying, I'm not impressed with Danny Ainge, man. I'm not impressed with him. He hasn't shown me he's a smart GM. I think he feasts off of desperate teams, but like he hasn't shown me that like he's just a great negotiator and he got lucky, right, with Tatum and Brown, but he hasn't shown me he's shown me that if you're desperate, he'll take advantage of you. That's all he's shown me.
Okay. I got you. I
That's
got
what
you.
he got off that Tatum and Brown trade. If you want to be technical, he got Tatum and Brown for sending off KG and Paul Pierce to a desperate team, the Brooklyn
Yeah.
Nets. So it makes sense. Right? Can't argue with history telling.
Right.
Think about it. The next time
Yeah.
he does a blockbuster deal, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Desperate.
9 players for Rudy Gobert.
But let's look at it though. Let's look at what they gave up though. Let's look at what they gave up. And y'all tell me who won. Tell me who won this trade, right? Right. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull up Rudy Gobert's stuff, and we'll look at it. Okay. So Rudy Gobert, and I'm gonna. Okay. So Rudy
But JJ,
Gobert is my bad. So Rudy Gobert is last year's rebounding champion, four-time All NBA, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 6-time All NBA defense, 2017 block champ, and 3-time All Star. Right? That's what they get. That's what Rudy Gobert is. Right? That's what Rudy Gobert is, and this is what they got. And this is what they got in a trade for him.
terrible.
Who really wanted Rudy Gobert trade? In my honest opinion, and I'm not trying to be um, um, polarizing, right? I honestly think the Timberwolves won this trade, and that's why Danny Ainge is trying to get so much from the Knicks. Because when you look at those first round picks, man, the Timberwolves are going to be a top. The Timberwolves are a second round team, right? When they add Gobert, right? So those picks right there that you're looking at, all of them are going to be 23 and later, basically, in my opinion, in my mind. 23, 24, 25. If they lucky, 26, 27, 28. And if they really lucky and really good, 29 or 30. But I don't see the Timberwolves winning the championship. But look at the players that they got. Are any of these dudes difference makers? Malik Beasley, Pat Beverly, Jarrett Vanderbilt, Valmero, or Kessler? Are any of those dudes play difference makers? So they got late first round picks in the mid to late 20s, and dudes you couldn't pick out of a police lineup.
Exactly. And then they traded Patrick Beverly already.
And they already traded Patrick Beverly for two more dudes that you would bump into on the street and recognize them.
Exactly. And that kind of, because trading for THT kind of makes trading for RJ Barrett stupid, to be honest. Because why would you trade for THT? So yeah, you're right. They didn't really get nothing back. Like, Malik Beasley is a solid player. Patrick Beverly is gone. Vanderbilt, we don't know. These people don't move the needle. The first round picks, like, what are they really going to be if you predicting Minnesota to be elite?
Right.
So that's probably why they're fiending for our pick so much, because they think that we're going to be still trash because it's the Knicks. But no, because you're giving us Donovan Mitchell based on and plus what we already had. So there's no way. Like, there's no way we're going to be in the lottery unless, like, something disastrous happened, like an injury, like, from everybody.
Right. And even if that happens, that's not Leon Rose's fault.
Right. Question for you: How many championship teams has Danny Ainge put together?
One.
What are we talking about here?
What are we talking about? Right.
like I see people in the chat talking about, oh, he's a top 5 GM. Danny Ainge, he's come with all this great GM talk, all this fleecing talk, all of this bow down at the altar of Ainge talk, and he has one championship. He couldn't.
It's the same thing I say about. It's the same thing I say about you, Jerry. It's the same thing I say about Sam Presti. They make buzzworthy moves, but
think about it. Him only winning one championship with the big three in Rondo was more of a failure than a success.
Right.
In my opinion, you have the big three in Rajon Rondo in his prime, and you only won one.
And he held on to Doc Rivers too long in Boston.
Yeah. And guess who was on Doc Rivers' coaching staff?
Tom Thibodeau.
Those Boston Celtics teams are one of the most overrated teams I can remember. And why? Because they only won one championship. They weren't a dynasty.
Now they did go to another and lost to the Lakers, right?
Yeah. Kobe and Powell and Ron Artest.
Yeah.
All them fellas. Like, they were a good team, but let's not act like Danny Ainge maximized that team. He did not. Right. Boston went to the finals after Brad Stevens took over and brought back Al Horford. And remember, he let Al Horford go. Danny Ainge, right? So, like, he's a good.
That was a kind of smart move, though. That was a smart move, letting Al Horford go, because remember, Al Horford went and got $100 million from Philly. That was smart. Because ain't no way they would have been stuck with Al Horford at the time with that $100 million.
Yeah, but Al Horford is a big reason why they went to the finals. I feel like they got worse when he left.
Not this year. This year, of course, but I'm talking about just at the time, that $100 million was too heavy.
No, he's talking about at the time when Al Horford left, the Celtics got worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did. But if they would have probably been worse off, they probably would have been.
These
worse
dudes
off
was bringing in Taco Fall. I remember seeing Taco Fall in Boston when Al Horford was gone.
They got his draft picks. Didn't he draft? Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We praised him for the Jason Tatum, which was the obvious pick, right? Jaylen Brown was his one, like, gem. When people said, "Why would you draft Jaylen Brown that high?" That was a gem. right? I got to give him that.
Well,
But
the
other
Jason
than that,
Tatum move was slick too, though.
I mean, I guess.
Not in the
But
day because remember Boston was picking number 1, right?
then they trade back.
Boston. Then they traded back
They
with
traded back to
Philly
Philly.
and got more first round picks and let
And
Philly draft Markelle Fultz and they drafted Jason Tatum.
That's an
So
ultimate fleece.
he fox-trotted everybody, bro.
Again, he took advantage of desperation. I'm telling you. Listen, if you're desperate, stay away from Danny Ainge. Stay away from him.
But
why
if
they
you're
don't climb Philly like that?
If you're Philly, can you imagine the Philadelphia 76ers with Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Robert Covington?
They won the championship. They won a championship with Jason Tatum being in his second year, and then let him ascend. Oh my God, let him become who he is. You're talking about they probably have for the next 10 years.
They are the Golden State Warriors.
A dynasty.
They are the Golden State Warriors. That's why I tell Knicks fans, it's okay to be patient.
Yeah.
If the ultimate goal is not winning the championship right away. Personally, my Knicks fandom is double parked. In terms of urgency, my urgency meter for championships is I got a P level of urgency. I can't hold nothing. You know what I'm saying? My car is double parked outside level of urgency, right? That's how urgent I am with it, right? I'm Tyrone Bigum's level of urgent. You know what I'm saying? I'm Tyrone. Red balls give you wings type urgency. It is with me in championships, right? But if you tell me that I have to slow down and wait and be patient, then I would be okay with you explaining the moves like, hey, Uncle Freezy, wait till next year's draft. We're gonna go get 2 wing players. Like my ultimate dream, I love Scoot Henderson, right? My ultimate dream though is the Knicks getting the Thompson twins. Because one of them is cerebral and the other one is got like a screw loose. The other one is like he trying to dunk on everybody in the paint, teammates included. I just think I feel like I need that level of crazy in my life, right? It's like I need the cerebral I need the cerebral Jim Jackson, Allen Houston type scorer, which is one of the Thompson twins, and then I also need the bananas. I'm dunking on everybody that's in the paint, and even if the referees are down there, I'm that Latrell Sprewell level of bananas. And if we can get that if we can get the Thompson twins,
you're cool with that. That's amazing. That's a blessing.
That's fantasy though. I know that's a dream scenario.
I seen the Thompson twins. I like them. I seen some other candidates. I would,
Is Asua Thompson really bananas, or is he just playing like that? Is that like a highlight thing?
He might be like that. He might be like that.
We got to be careful though. It's gonna be some busts in the draft. This draft was a little bit too overhyped. It's gonna be some busts. Like somebody draft real sad. There's gonna be a Pistons in 04 team that walks over Darko Milicic. He was old.
I hate that. I hate that draft because Melo should have had a ring. Should have been in Detroit. That's the same thing. It's the same thing with Jason Tatum. He should have been in Philly.
He should have been in Philly.
Because if you're talking about Melo being in Detroit, you're talking about he could have easily been a 2-time, 3-time champion with that team.
We could be saying the same thing about Donovan Mitchell in Denver, though. Denver could legit have Spider. Think about Spider, Murray, Porter, and Jokic.
If Melo gets drafted by Detroit, his legacy is completely different.
I was just about to say that. I was literally about to say that.
And also, if Melo is in a draft outside of LeBron, his legacy is completely different.
Because the only thing, no champ, is Larry Brown. Larry Brown is Tom Thibodeau times 4.
Yeah, you think Melo would bench?
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, he wouldn't have started Melo and been playing them stupid mind games that he played with Starberry. Remember, Larry Starberry wasn't a head case until he got with Larry Brown, bro.
Right. But like, can you imagine if, say, Kawhi got drafted by Orlando?
Mm.
He wouldn't be the Kawhi Leonard we know.
Can you imagine if Kawhi Leonard got drafted by Indiana?
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. He did get drafted by Indiana.
They traded him.
And they traded him on draft. Like, can you imagine Kawhi Leonard and Paul George together?
Right. Early on in their career.
Early in their careers.
Can you imagine Kawhi on those Pacers teams? That were already nasty defensively with George and Paul George and Roy Hibbert protecting the basket.
Roy Hibbert.
Lance Stevenson.
Oh my God, bro.
Was Lance Stevenson there before Paul George?
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay. I thought I was going to say they probably wouldn't have had Lance.
Born ready.
They probably wouldn't. Yeah. Honestly, they would have probably ran Lance at point and just had a big squad. So they had Lance, Paul George, or Kawhi, 1, 2, and 3. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like where you're drafted matters. Man, Kawhi got drafted by San Antonio, won some championships early, and early on in his career, he was seen as a winner.
Well, he didn't get drafted by San Antonio. Remember, he got drafted by the Pacers, and San Antonio traded George Hill to the Pacers for the right to Kawhi Leonard. And Popovich cried on national TV because George was like, "Why is he crying over a trade?" But at the time, we didn't know that George Hill was his favorite player, not because of George Hill being a great player, but George Hill being a great person. At the time, we didn't know. You don't know how tight coaches and players can be until it comes time for you to move on from the player or the coach.
Real quick, I gotta go, y'all. But thank you, Freezy, for holding it down.
All right.
I'll see y'all during the week. Next week or
y'all not doing it tomorrow morning?
I work tomorrow morning. That's why I had to do it today.
He work. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They try to violate me.
I'm gonna be busy tomorrow too.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna be busy tomorrow too. I got my son's birthday party tomorrow, so
happy birthday.
That's why we had to happy birthday, little man, honorary new school Nick.
Yes, sir.
Hey, come here. They saying happy birthday to you, big boy.
Yeah, happy birthday, little man.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Hi, y'all.
Yeah, all right, man. Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in to New School Knicks. I'm your main man, the #1 Chief Rocker at Knicks Universe, Uncle Freezy. Thank you to the People's Champ, King and G. And King and G, the People's Champion, and Greeny from LI holding it down, rock steady. Every time I think Greeny, I be thinking rock steady, bro. Every time I think rock steady. So thank you to Greeny. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for Rivera. You know what I'm saying? Walking away from the money for a few moments. I know counting money can get tedious sometimes. Some people count money so much to give them carpal tunnel, and I think Rivera was just taking that break from counting money. You know what I'm saying? So Rivera, thank you for that, man. We appreciate everybody for coming out, hanging out with us early on a Saturday morning. New School Knicks will follow the normal schedule. Sunday mornings at what, 9? Sundays at 9, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Sundays at 9 going forward. This week we had to kind of put a bumpy bump in the schedule. Things happen. So thanks again, y'all, for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. And until we meet again, y'all, peace.
Peace.